What is going on? It's with Midlife Fitness. I'm here with Kevin, one of my athletes, who's just recently finished up round two of the program. I I always tell people when I bring people in the program, they are welcome to stay with me, leave, come back. I'm always available to them. So Kevin took that. He was kind enough to join us today to kind of talk about his experience. So thank you, Kevin, for doing that.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so you want to introduce yourself and just kind of tell us what things were like before you and I hooked up and what kind of brought you to this place.
Well, man, I was uncomfortable and didn't know it. I guess is the best way to describe it. Just going through life and eventually, went from, as a police officer, I went from being on the front lines and out in the street and getting in and out of the car and running and walking to being stuck behind a desk.
Yeah.
And the went through knee surgery and shoulder surgery, and my active lifestyle was replaced with you know rest from the shoulder, rest from the knee. I'd been an avid mountain biker before that, and things just slowly slipped out of control. And like I said, I didn't even realize how uncomfortable I was until I started changing and the way I did things and looking back and seeing how it was just a huge, huge change for me.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And that's what I always tell people that comfort zones are aggressive.
yeah,
They're really aggressive and people don't realize it. And before you know it, you're 30, 40, 50 pounds weight and wondering like
yep,
how the hell did this happen?
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, so you're a chief now, busy police chief,
Yep,
in your mid 50s.
yep,
Yeah, and you saw yourself from being active and on the street to a desk now,
yeah,
which is natural. Those things happen, especially when you're
yep,
a good leader like you are. So
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, so when we started, and this has not been in 16 weeks. This has been over the course of a little over 2 years.
Yep,
But when you started with me, you were right around 355,
yep,
correct? Okay.
yep,
Yeah. And then
yeah.
what are you at now?
I'm
Yeah. So almost
yeah,
100 pounds
yeah,
lost. So just
yep,
an amazing, amazing job. I mean, that's a whole other person almost.
yes,
That's not much smaller than some of the kids coming out of the academy right now. So
yeah, for sure, yeah, yeah.
all right. So so what brought you to me? Like what made you hire me or reach out to me?
I had seen some of your things on Midlife Fitness Facebook. Talked to a couple of people I knew, had seen some mutual friends, and decided to reach out and see what you could do for me. I was initially, the first time I reached out, I was looking a few pounds. I wanted to do a jujitsu tournament with my daughter.
Yeah.
She was into jujitsu as well at the time, and we were going to do a tournament. And I was like, I was in, it wasn't horrible, but I wanted to lose a few pounds so I could move around a little better because those little skinny fast guys are hard to catch.
Right.
And that was the first time I had reached out, and you put me in a program, and I met my goal. I think it was like, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 pounds that we set the goal, and I met that goal. And then, things fell off and went back to my normal routines, which at the time were, self-sabotage essentially.
Hmm.
And as far as the second time I came back to you, I had gone to a doctor's appointment, and I have family history of diabetics, both parents, which I just found out recently. My mother was diabetic. I was like,
Yeah.
why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
I bought her candy for Christmas, and she's like, whoa, can't have that. What? What do you mean?
Uh,
Um, so I ended up going to the doctor myself, just a normal checkup. And when I was in there talking to the doctor, they were like, you're, that close to being diabetic yourself. And I'd gone through my whole career running rescues on people, and uh, seeing somebody without a leg or a foot, and you find out it's because they're diabetic and they weren't taking care of themselves. And that was a huge eye opener for me.
yep.
And, some of the lessons I had learned from you, and some of the lessons I had learned in jujitsu, that whole just keep on keeping on and you
Yep.
will improve.
Yep.
Put those two together, and a lot of little changes, honestly, that the weight came off. It was just so many little things I was doing that all added up
Yeah.
um, to almost 100 pounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is just a
So
huge achievement. And kind of going back to what you were saying before, like you and I are in the profession, we've seen, the effects of people's choices, physically, mentally, like just in their social lives or whatever. And you'd probably agree with me that the majority of things that we see, like medical problems that people have, like the majority of them are preventable,
yep, yep,
right? Like
yeah,
they are absolutely preventable.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, cool. So what parts of the program do you think made the biggest difference for you?
For me, it was the ease of use, being able to, whether it's the morning or the evening, whenever I had time to go, okay, I've got time to get to the app now
Yep.
and do my workout. Obviously, it's better to work out in the morning because all the lies you'll tell yourself in the evening.
Right.
But yeah, it was just the ease of use and being able to, reach out every once in a while and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm thinking, this one, I need some more stretching.
Yep.
Um, and the continual stretching made huge improvements, but just being able to reach out, make contact, get some feedback, a change in the plan or whatever was huge.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's something that's catered to you. It's not just like some random program that you're following on Instagram or something like that.
Right, for
So,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got a busy life. You've got things going on, right?
Yep.
So yeah.
Amen. Yeah. Wife,
Yeah.
kids. Yeah. All sorts of
Yeah,
stuff
all
going
the
on.
things, all the
Yep.
things.
Yep.
Yeah. So what was your overall experience like then? Because you've done other stuff in the past, I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I've tried everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
uh, uh, overall experience, it's the program you run is great. The ability that anybody can reach out and get a hold of you at any time. You know, obviously with the career, it's not always immediate.
Right.
We understand that, but
Yeah.
you will get back to me right away as soon
Yeah.
as you can, even if it's just a text. Hey, let me get you. I'm in a meeting. Let me get back to
Yeah.
you. The ability to reach out through the app or some other way to get a hold of you, if there was something that came up. Hey, I've hurt my shoulder. Can we lay off some shoulder
Yeah.
stuff? Or just the ability to have that contact and change things and make it customizable to me was
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And not only you be able to reach out to me, but me reaching out to you. So that
yeah,
accountability piece,
yeah,
like if you're
yep.
missing stuff or something's off,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're gonna hear
Hey
from
man,
me.
hey, I see you're falling off there. I'm back at it, boss. I'm back at it. Yeah, yep,
Oh, I love it. I love it.
yep,
Um, yeah, so you've made a lot of changes. I mean, you've lost almost 100 pounds and your journey's not over yet. But like
right.
based on those changes that you've made, like I know that you've gone back to mountain biking, you've been able to be more engaged with your son, and you guys did a race together, right?
Yep, yep.
Which is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, it was
So
awesome. It
yeah,
was a
so
great
it's just
experience.
opened up your life to all kinds of experiences that you didn't think were possible before,
Yeah,
right?
and I look back now and go, man, now I'm running up 3 or 4 flights of stairs and I'm not even breathing heavy, whereas I didn't realize at the time that, well, shit, I'd walk up a flight of stairs and all of a sudden I can't breathe.
Yeah, yeah. You think
And
it's gonna be the
yeah,
big
so
one.
huge difference, huge
Yeah,
difference. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, man, you've done an amazing job. You're great to work with. And like I said before, like I've always once somebody's with me, like they always have access to me, like,
yeah,
forever. So they're always part of the family. So
yeah,
I'm glad that you took advantage of that and reached out and just absolutely crushed your goal and really like just changed your whole life.
yeah,
100
for sure.
pounds is definitely not anything to sneeze at. Like most people can't say that they've done that. That's just
Yeah,
such a huge thing. And like I said, your progress isn't over.
for sure.
And now it's all about like, refining things and maintaining, and just
Yeah.
making the process. Oh,
Yeah.
I love
And I
that.
tell you, tracking, accountability for myself, uh, my fitness pal,
Yep.
everything went in there. And so you
Yep.
can actually see as opposed to just guessing and you're forgetting what you're eating. That was a huge, the exercise, the food, seeing the calories in versus calories out as opposed to guessing,
Yep.
self-sabotaging type stuff out the window and you're really tracking it. And
Yeah.
that was all, and the working out was huge.
Yep. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So last thing, so what would you say to somebody who's considering working with me? If they're kind of on the fence, what piece of advice or what would you say to that person?
Jump off the fence. Get off the fence, make a decision, because you're not going to regret it.
Yeah, awesome, man. All right, man. I appreciate you doing this. I love it when, people are so used to hearing from me all the time. It's nice to kind of hear from somebody else and somebody
Yeah,
that's been through it and somebody you can, kind of relate to and they're going through the same kind of thing, and I did too, but it was years ago. But so I appreciate you doing this. And if we can just like motivate one person to just make that step and try to improve themselves for the better, not just for them, but for everybody in their life. I mean, that's
yeah,
totally worth it. So it makes it
yeah.
all worthwhile.
It
So
is for sure. It is worthwhile.
awesome, man.
All
All
right,
right,
bud.
man. Well, thanks again, and we'll catch you later.
All right, man. Be
All
safe.
right, man. See
See
ya.
ya.